Hello everybody, my name is Timothy and I want to welcome you to the Penang Travel Tips YouTube channel. On this channel, I usually create videos for the benefit of foreigners. But today, I'm creating a video for the benefit of locals. To be specific, today I'm going to talk about the Penang's affordable housing scheme known as Rumah MutiaraKu. Previously, Rumah MutiaraKu was known as Rumah Mampu Milik Pulau Penang, but it was rebranded in January 2025 to Rumah MutiaraKu. And now we have passed about 10 months, but a lot of people still have not heard of the name Rumah MutiaraKu, and so I created this video to explain what is Rumah MutiaraKu, what are the eligibility criteria for Rumah MutiaraKu. Yeah, if you want to buy affordable housing in Penang, there are two ways. You can buy straight from the government or you can buy straight from the private developer. But you would know that if you buy from this private developer, the price of an affordable housing is going to be around 500,000 ringgit nowadays. On the other hand, if you buy from the government, you are going to spend only about 350,000 ringgit. So that's a difference of 150,000 ringgit. Of course, if you are paying 350,000 ringgit, you are going to get a more basic package than the package provided by the private developers at 500,000 ringgit. A difference of 150,000 ringgit. Of course, there will be some enhancement to lift the price to 500,000 ringgit. But for many people, 350,000 ringgit is sufficient for you to purchase an affordable housing. And so for the purpose of today's video, it is to talk about the government units. The government units, how you can apply for the government units and the steps to take to do that. And of course, all that I'm explaining to you is based on my research. And in good faith, I believe this is as accurate as I can get. But if I make mistake, I do apologize for that. And also, if you found any inaccuracy, please politely tell me and I will put it in perhaps in the comment section to let people know if there is any inaccuracy. And so when we get back, we are going to go through step by step of how to purchase a house on the Rumah MutiaraKu scheme.
Penang streets so bright, every corner a delight. Markets buzz with life, filled with joy and sights. Hidden gems we find, local flavors oh so kind. From the beaches white, warm sun feels just right. Penang my new home, wherever I roam. This place is my own, Penang my new home.
Chapter 1. What is Rumah MutiaraKu? So, what exactly is Rumah MutiaraKu? Well, Rumah MutiaraKu or RMKu is actually the Penang State Government's affordable housing program. It's the same initiative that used to be called Rumah Mampu Milik or RMM, but it was rebranded in January 2025 to give it a fresh start and a clearer direction. The goal of Rumah MutiaraKu is simple: to help more Penang residents own their own homes, especially those who may not be able to afford current market prices. Under the scheme, housing units are sold at controlled prices depending on the category and the area they are in. The scheme is managed by the Penang State Housing Board, also known as Lembaga Perumahan Negeri Pulau Penang or LPNPP. So, the portal as of October 2025 is known as LPNPP and not Rumah MutiaraKu. You will see the name LPNPP instead of Rumah MutiaraKu or Rumah Mampu Milik or even e-Rumah. So remember, look for LPNPP. What's new with Rumah MutiaraKu is that it's now more structured and transparent. The state has divided Penang into different zones with price ceilings for each category of homes from the most affordable to the middle range. And to make things easier, the entire application process is done online through the LPNPP Portal, so applicants can check their eligibility and apply directly without going through middlemen. In short, Rumah MutiaraKu is Penang's affordable housing scheme redesigned to make home ownership more achievable for locals. In the next chapter, I'll explain why the state decided to revamp the old system and how Rumah MutiaraKu improves on the previous RMM framework. Chapter 2. Why the scheme was revamped. To understand why Rumah MutiaraKu was created, we first need to look at what came before it, the Rumah Mampu Milik or RMM program. The old RMM program did help many Penangites get their own homes, but over time it started facing a few challenges. There were delays in project delivery, some units were too small for growing families, and there just weren't enough units for first-time buyers. On top of that, property prices in Penang kept rising, and with limited land available, it became harder to meet demand, especially on the island. So, in early 2025, the state government decided it was time for a reset. They wanted to streamline the categories, improve transparency, and give the affordable housing program a stronger identity. And that's how Rumah MutiaraKu was born, a name that symbolizes both value and pride for Penangites. The idea is to make it clearer who qualifies, what types of homes are available, and how the whole application process works. In other words, it's not just a new name, it's a revamp of the entire system designed to make affordable housing in Penang more transparent, efficient, and achievable. Coming up next, I'll show you how Rumah MutiaraKu actually works, how it's organized, who builds the homes, and how you can apply. Chapter 3. How Rumah MutiaraKu works. So, how exactly does Rumah MutiaraKu work? At its core, Rumah MutiaraKu is a partnership between the Penang state government and private developers. Whenever a developer builds a residential project in Penang, they are required to allocate a certain number of units under the affordable housing quota. That's what's become part of the Rumah MutiaraKu program. The Penang State Housing Board or Lembaga Perumahan Negeri Pulau Pinang oversees this process. They ensure that these affordable homes are built according to the controlled price ceilings and that eligible applicants, not speculators, get priority. To make things easier for applicants, everything now runs through the state's online portal called LPNPP. That's where you can register, check your eligibility, upload your documents, and track your application all in one place. When a new Rumah MutiaraKu housing project is launched, the system will shortlist applicants who match the income level and eligibility criteria for that particular category, whether it's type A, B, C, or D. Once shortlisted, the state will then carry out a balloting process or lucky draw to determine who gets the units. This approach makes the process more transparent, ensures fair distribution, and helps prevent people from jumping the queue. So, in short, the developers build, the state regulates, and you apply through LPNPP. That's the foundation of how Rumah MutiaraKu operates today. And next, we'll go into the details, the zones, the categories, and the price ceiling so you know exactly what type of Rumah MutiaraKu home you may qualify for. Chapter 4. Zones, Categories, and Price Ceilings. Under the Rumah MutiaraKu program, affordable housing in Penang is divided into zones and categories. The zones reflect location value, while the categories reflect price and household income levels. Let's start with the zones. Zone A covers prime urban areas, places like Georgetown, Pulau Tikus, Bayan Baru, and Tanjung Tokong. Because land cost is higher, affordable units here are usually smaller or high-rise apartments. Zone B covers developing townships and suburbs such as Balipula on the island or Bukit Mertajam or Batu Kawan on the mainland. These areas offer larger units and slightly lower prices. Zone C covers rural or semi-rural areas, for example, Sungai Aceh or Permatang Tinggi. These are the most affordable locations under Rumah MutiaraKu. Categories: Type A to D. Now, within each zone, you have 4 categories of Rumah MutiaraKu units, Type A, B, C, and D. These are based on price ceilings and income limits. Type A is the most affordable. It's meant for the lower income group with prices capped at 42,000 ringgit and a monthly household income limit of 2,500 ringgit. These are typically low-cost flats around 650 square feet. Type B units are for the lower middle income group with prices capped at 72,500 and household income up to 3,500. These are usually low-medium cost apartments, slightly larger than Type A. Type C caters to the middle income group with prices capped at 150,000 ringgit and income up to 8,000 ringgit. These are what most people think of when they say affordable homes. And finally, Type D is the upper tier of affordable housing, going up to 300,000 ringgit for households earning up to 15,000 ringgit per month. These can be larger units or in more premium locations. Now, not every type is available in every zone. It depends on the location, developer, and project approval. But in general, the higher the zone value, the smaller or more compact the affordable units tend to be. So, if you're flexible about location, you'll get more space for the same budget by applying for a project in Zone B or Zone C. In short, your zone determines where you can afford to buy, and your category determines which type of Rumah MutiaraKu home you qualify for. Up next, let's go through the eligibility criteria so you can find out whether you qualify to apply for Rumah MutiaraKu. Chapter 5: Who can apply? Eligibility requirements. So, who exactly can apply for Rumah MutiaraKu affordable home? Well, Penang has a clear set of eligibility requirements, and if you meet them, you can register through the state's official LPNPP Portal. Let's go through them one by one. Number 1, citizenship. First and foremost, you must be a Malaysian citizen. The Rumah MutiaraKu program is only for Malaysians, and priority is given to Penang-born applicants or those who have lived and worked in Penang for several years. Number 2, age requirement. You need to be at least 18 years old to apply. There's no upper age limit, but you must be capable of entering into a housing loan or financing agreement. Number 3, home ownership status. You must not already own a house in Penang. In other words, Rumah MutiaraKu is for first-time home buyers only. If your spouse owns property, that counts too, because the household is treated as one unit. Number 4, household income limit. Next, your combined household income must match the category you are applying for. Here's the breakdown. Type A, up to 2,500 ringgit per month. Type B, up to 3,500 ringgit per month. Type C, up to 8,000 ringgit per month. And Type D, up to 15,000 ringgit per month. You need to provide supporting documents like pay slips or income declaration when you register online. But as you can see, with a household income of 8,000 or even 15,000 ringgit per month, Rumah MutiaraKu is not limited to those in the B40 group. It is open to those in the M40 as well. Buy what you can afford. Number 5, residency and employment in Penang. You should either be born in Penang or have worked or lived here for several years. This ensures that the scheme truly benefits people who have made Penang their home. Number 6, spouse clause. If you're married, the application must include your spouse's details, and as I mentioned earlier, both of your home ownership statuses will be checked. So if your spouse already owns property in Penang, you won't be eligible to apply for a Rumah MutiaraKu home. Number 7, verification and screening. After you submit your application, your details will be verified by the Penang State Housing Department, JPNPP. They'll check your identity, income, and background records before confirming your eligibility. Only then will you be added to the waiting list for a location when a matching project becomes available. So to sum it up, you must be a Malaysian, 18 or older, a first-time buyer within the income limit, and living or working in Penang. Once you have confirmed all this, you are ready to move on to the next step, registering for Rumah MutiaraKu online. Chapter 6, How to Apply Online Registration via the LPNPP Portal. Alright, now that you know you are eligible, let's go through how to actually apply for a Rumah MutiaraKu affordable home. The entire process is done online at the Penang State Government's official affordable housing portal. Formerly known as e-Rumah, is now known as LPNPP. Here's the link and I'll put it in the description as well. Step 1. Go to the LPNPP portal, open your web browser and go to this link. As of 2025, this is the only official website for Penang's affordable housing registration. There are no real estate agents or middlemen involved. You apply directly through this portal. Step 2. Create your account. If this is your first time using LPNPP, go to Langkah 1. Enter your new or old IC number, click the reCAPTCHA and check your eligibility. Based on your details, the portal will let you know whether you are eligible for low-cost housing or affordable housing. If you already own a house, you are still eligible on the affordable housing scheme, but the new house has to cost more than your existing house. To continue, click this Sini. Your IC number is your ID. Create a password that has letters, numbers, and one symbol such as hash or alias. And once your account is created, you can log in anytime to update your profile or check your application status. Step 3. Complete your personal details. After logging in, click on Maklumat Pemohon to fill in your details. This section asks for your home address, household income, marital status, and employment information. Make sure everything is accurate because this data determines which housing type you qualify for. I discovered that you need to complete each section before you are allowed to go to the next one. Step 4. Upload required documents. Now, you need to get the following documents in soft copy ready, so this video is helpful in preparing you for what's to come. So, prepare the following documents in PDF or JPEG format. IC for applicant and spouse. Latest payslips or income statement. Marriage certificate if applicable. EPF statement or proof of employment. Take a moment to double check that all files are clear and readable before submitting. Step 5. Select your preferred project. Once your profile is complete, you can browse available affordable housing projects under Rumah MutiaraKu. You can indicate your preferred zone and project named, for example, a Type C unit in Bayan Lepas or Butterworth. Remember, each zone has limited quotas, so your selection may depend on availability. My advice to you is do not choose a property hastily. all affordable housing comes with MOP or minimum occupancy period, which is 5 years and in some cases 10. If you feel your money is better spent purchasing on the open market, where there are generally better choices, albeit more expensive, do that. You do not want the affordable property to become an albatross around your neck, something you have to pay for but you don't want to stay in. And remember, you are not allowed to rent it out. Step 6. Submit your application. So, if you are clear that you want to buy an affordable house, then proceed. When you have checked everything, click Hantar Permohonan to submit your application. The system will generate a reference number. Keep that safe. You can log in anytime to track your status or update your information. What happens after you apply? After you have submitted, your details go to the Penang State Housing Department, JPNPP, for verification. They'll cross-check your income, documents, and eligibility before placing you on the waiting list. Once a unit matching your category becomes available, you'll be contacted with an official offer letter. So that's it. 6 simple steps to apply for Penang's Rumah MutiaraKu affordable housing online. And remember, it's completely free to register and you can do everything yourself on the official LPNPP Portal. Chapter 7. Document Checklist and Common Mistakes to Avoid. Before you hit the submit button, let's make sure you have the right documents and that you don't fall into some of the common traps that cause applications to be delayed or rejected. Here's what you'll typically need when applying for a Rumah MutiaraKu home through the LPNPP portal. This may vary slightly depending on your household, but generally you'll need a copy of your My Card or IC for both you and your spouse. Birth certificates for your children if applicable. Your marriage certificate, or if you are single, a statutory declaration of single status. The latest 3 months payslips or income verification if you are self-employed. Your EPF or KWSP statement or an employer confirmation letter. Your latest income tax form, the BE form if you have one. A recent utility bill or proof of Penang address. This shows that you are a Penang resident or registered voter. And finally, any supporting document such as an OKU card or divorce certificate if they apply to your situation. Make sure all your documents are clear, readable, and complete. Blurry or partial uploads are one of the biggest reasons for rejections. Common mistakes. Now let's go through some of the common mistakes that cause unnecessary delays. First, incomplete applications. People often forget to upload 1 or 2 required documents. Always double check your checklist before you submit. Second, incorrect income details. Sometimes applicants declare a household income that doesn't match their payslips or EPF statement. Make sure the information you key in matches what you upload. Third, old or outdated payslips. Avoid using payslips that are more than 6 months old. The state wants to see your current financial status. Fourth, applying for the wrong housing type. For example, apply for type A or B when your household income is above the ceiling limit. Each Rumah MutiaraKu type has its own income bracket. Make sure you stay within yours. And fifth, not updating your personal details. If you have changed address, marital status, or income level, log into LPNPP and update it. The system won't automatically fix it for you. Remember, it's always better to take your time to prepare everything properly and submit once than to rush and have your application delayed for corrections. Once your submission is verified, you'll be on the official waiting list, so accuracy really matters. Chapter 8. What happens after you apply? So, you have submitted your Rumah MutiaraKu application through LPNPP. What happens next? Let's walk through what goes on behind the scenes and what you should expect in the coming months. Once your application is submitted, it goes through several stages before you actually get a home offer. The first stage is verification. The Penang State Housing Board, or LPNPP, will check all your uploaded documents to confirm that you meet the eligibility requirements. This includes verifying your age, income, marital status, and Penang residency. If something's missing or unclear, they might contact you to upload the correct files, so do keep your phone number and email address active. Now, this stage can take a few weeks to a few months depending on how many applications are in the queue. Be patient, it's all part of the process. Once your application passes verification, you'll be shortlisted and placed on the official waiting list for the category and zone you applied for. Each zone, urban, township, or rural, has its own quota and project schedule. Your position on the waiting list depends on factors such as your income, household size, and how long you've been registered. It's really important to keep your LPNPP account updated, especially if your circumstances change, like if you get married, divorced, or your income shifts into a new bracket. That helps the housing board match you to the right project when it becomes available. Next comes the balloting stage. This happens whenever a new Rumah MutiaraKu project is launched. LPNPP will invite shortlisted applicants who meet the income and category requirements to participate in a computerized draw. Those who are selected will receive an offer letter which specifies the location, unit type, price, and next steps. You usually have a limited window, often 30 days, to confirm your acceptance. Once you accept, you go through the financing and signing stage. That means securing a housing loan, completing your sale and purchase agreement, and paying any down payment required by the developer. After that, your unit will be reserved for you until the project is completed. Finally, when the housing project is completed, you'll be notified to collect your keys and take possession of your new home. The whole process from registration to key handover can take several years depending on when the Rumah MutiaraKu projects launch in your preferred zone. So yes, applying for affordable housing isn't instant, but once you are in the system and stay updated, you'll have your chance when the right project comes along. On the other hand, disposing or selling an affordable unit is also not instant. From the time you register until the day you are permitted to sell that unit, 10 years or more has passed. Do not buy unless you intend to stay in it. Give those who need it more than you the chance to buy it. The purpose of affordable housing is to give everyone the chance to own the roof over their heads. It is not for investment or speculation. If you want to invest in property, buy on the open market where there's no minimum occupancy period. And with that said, let's continue to Chapter 9. Chapter 9. After you get your Rumah MutiaraKu home. If you reach this stage, it means you have officially become a Rumah MutiaraKu homeowner. But before you pop the champagne, let's talk about what comes next. Because owning a government subsidized home comes with a few important rules and responsibilities. Once you have signed the sale and purchase agreement and collected your keys, you are officially bound by the terms of the Rumah MutiaraKu scheme. The first rule, and probably the most important one, is that you must occupy the house yourself. These homes are meant for owner-occupiers, not for rental or speculation. That means you cannot rent it out, sublet rooms, or leave it vacant for extended periods. Rule number 2, you cannot sell, transfer, or dispose of the property within the minimum occupancy period or moratorium period. For most affordable units, that's 10 years from the date of purchase or 5 years from key handover. This ensures the home remains affordable and available to genuine residents, not flippers looking to make a quick profit. If you really need to sell before that 10-year mark, for example, due to financial hardship, medical reasons, or family relocation, you need prior written approval from the Penang State Housing Board. They'll assess your case individually, and in some situations, they might allow the sale, but usually only to another eligible buyer registered under the same Rumah MutiaraKu system. Next up, renovations. You can renovate your home, but only with approval from the local council and the developer during the maintenance period. Structural changes that affect the facade or layout may require formal building approval. Keep all your renovation works safe, legal, and respectful of your neighbors. Maintenance is another key part of ownership. Even though your home is subsidized, you are still responsible for paying monthly maintenance fees and sinking fund contributions if it's a strata title property like an apartment. These fees go toward cleaning, security, and upkeep of the common areas. And just like any other homeowner, you have a say in your community. Participate in residence meetings, report maintenance issues early, and follow the house rules. A well-managed neighborhood keeps property values stable and keeps everyone happy. Now, what happens if you break the rules? If you are caught renting out, selling early, or misusing your property, the housing board has the power to revoke your ownership and repossess the unit. In serious cases, you could also be blacklisted from future government housing programs. At the end of the day, Rumah MutiaraKu is about creating stable communities, not just selling cheap homes. By following the rules and being a responsible homeowner, you are doing your part to make the program successful and to keep Penang's housing market fair for everyone. So enjoy your new home, take good care of it, and remember, Rumah MutiaraKu is more than just a house. It's the start of your journey in a stronger, more inclusive Penang. So there you have it. That's how Penang's Rumah MutiaraKu affordable housing program works, from registration all the way to getting your keys and living in your new home. If you're planning to apply, I hope this video helped you understand the process better and cleared up some of the confusions about how the scheme operates. And if you enjoyed this video or if you find it helpful to you, please take a moment to give it a like so that YouTube will show it to more people and it will benefit more people who are seeking affordable housing. And subscribe to the Penang Travel Tips YouTube channel for more videos about living and moving to Penang. And until we meet again, this is Timothy signing off.